All right, guys, today we're gonna put this chair together, assemble it, see what it takes, see how much pain in the ass it is. Let me get it out of the box. All right, guys, we got everything unwrapped, the 45 pounds of wrapping. And we'll do it in sections. We'll probably put the wheels on this. Now I think about it, I don't see the piston. Oh, it's in here. Here's all the bolts and your piston that goes on here. So what we'll do is I'll slap the wheels on. The piston screws in here, and that will go to the bottom of the seat. And you got your heavy duty bracket, it'll bolt to the bottom, bolts the two parts of the seat together, and you got your arms. So let's get the wheels on. All right, we got the bottom out. I got all the wheels. That's our bolt kit, we don't need that yet. And then we got our instructions. We don't need to look at these until we mess it up. So first, these are pretty simple. They just push on in. So that's all you gotta do. Push them on in. This is a little, you gotta press it a little firm. So if you're having a hard time, you can put a little bit of oil in there and you should slip right in. So we got that part done. Here's our piston and the other part. We'll put that together next. We got our piston, the little seat. This little tapered end. Just fits down in there. That's ready to go. I think over time, the pressure will wedge it in there. Just be sitting on it and everything. So next, we'll put the bracket that goes under the seat on. All right, here's the seat part. It has, right here it says front. And you got your piece here, it'll say front. Plus it's got 3 holes, you really can't put it on wrong. And you're just gonna set it on down here, line up the holes, and we'll find the correct screws you need. It does come with an Allen key, Allen wrench, whatever you want to call it. So we'll find, and it already has Loctite on, looks like just about all of it, so that's good. All right, the number for these is gonna be 12, and it should be 4 bolts going on the outside corners. Which, you know, the front 2, there's only 2 bolt holes. The back 2, there's 4, but you're gonna go on the outside, leave the 2 in the middle empty. And they should pretty much start pretty good. And you just crank it on down. All right, I tightened it down pretty hard. The next, we'll just turn it sideways, and we'll be able to put the arms. You know, you'll be able to put the arm on where it's hanging down. It's not in your way. The other way, we may have a problem. Which, if you look inside, I don't know if you can see it, but you can't see it. But there's an R in there for right. And I imagine the other side says L. Yeah, and then there's L for left. Now it should probably, well, I'd say it should be marked on here, but that's front, flips over, left should be here, right should be there. When we find the bolts, all right, these ones will get 2 different kind of bolts. You got 13, which is a hair smaller. They're gonna be on the single slot, and 14 will be the 2 slots. Each one gets a washer. There's 6 washers, which is J. You just drop your washer on, slide it through here. Now you just want to put it down just a hair, because you want to be able to have it move where you can line them all up. That's your 13, your shorter one is in the front. Now your 14 is your longer one. It goes towards the back 2 slots. Once you drop it down in there, you can use your Allen key to kind of get a few turns on it. Just make sure you don't cross thread it. You just kind of turn it. It feels a little tight. Just make sure you don't crack it down real tight. You don't want to mess up them threads either. Now it's slotted, so I guess you got a little room for play. In out just a hair, not a whole lot. No. I guess it depends how you like it. Which, I mean, it's only about, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch movement, so that's not a whole lot. Also, when you want to tighten it down more, you can turn it this way. It gives you longer leverage to tighten it. If you have it this way, you won't be able to tighten it much, but you can tighten it down faster until you get it to that point where you can't spin it no more. And flip it around. I would just tighten them all down, you know, try to go evenly. Tighten this one down to it's snug a little bit. Then go to the other one, go snug until you get them all the way down, and then you do your final tighten. Otherwise, you can get it off on an angle and mess it up. This one, you could probably kept the box set on the center where the two handles hang over the side. I just thought about that, I didn't do it. But I'm just gonna tilt this up. That'll give me plenty of room. Now just remember, your shorter bolt in the front, 13, with your washer. You can just get that started just a little bit. There we go. And your two longer ones in the back. Which now I see why it says put the handle on, this on after. Because this handle may be in my way just a little bit. But I should be able to work around that maybe. Alright, there's your bottom piece with your arms. Alright, the next piece we're installing is the back, well, the assembly. You got your little piece, see the arrow? It goes up into the back here. But you got this little zipper compartment. Gives you access to your 4 bolt holes. And there should be it right there. So arrow goes up underneath there. Slide it up in. Gonna line it up. And the number was 15. Just little short ones. And just like all the other ones, just started a few turns. If you start in all the way, you may never be able to line up the other holes. You just want to get them a few turns. Because the holes in the plate have a bevel in them, a chamfer. And these have a bevel. So it's going to suck it into where it goes. So if it's off a tiny bit, you'll never be able to get all the screws in. Now this is pretty easy. It's just a little time consuming, it's a little turn. And if you can't get these too tight, if you're a little bit older or, you know, it's harder on you, find you like a little metal pipe or something to slide over this. And it'll give you a little extra leverage to turn it. And then you'll be able to get it nice and snug. Just be careful though, because it's, you know, it's metal screws and wood. We got that. So it looks like this. Alright, here's the box. We're gonna do a little trick here. Because we gotta put the back on. So you can set it right on the box where the two arms are hanging off. Slide it back here a little bit. Because then, when you get to the back part, you can just slide this far more. You'll be able to just put it right on. without having to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Now here's the bolts. They're going to be bolts are going to be L1. L1, I1. You're going to have to pull this forward a little bit. Get your bolt kind of started. I do it in a cross pattern here. It's because you got to kind of press the cushion in and get that kind of started. And that should allow you to get the other ones started. Now I see a little bit of cloth kind of hanging in the bolt holes. You may need to move that out of the way, because if it gets into the hole and wrapped around the bolt, you'll have a hard time tightening it down. But like I said, I may put that piston in there where we can just set it down on top of the thing. But I see a bunch of extra bolts, so I'm gonna see what those are about in a second. Same thing with this, the holes are sliding in the plate, so if you want to push it in even harder or just leave it out a little bit, you can. And I'd hang on to this Allen key and periodically, every week or so, just kind of look at your bolts at your chair and make sure they're not backing out or anything. And it does have Loctite on it, but if you use something a lot, it's better to check and make sure your bolts are tight than and you just tighten them down, you just walk them around, just tighten this one, tighten that one, because it'll slowly pull it down and set it. And also, it's on top of this one metal plate, so it's going to be just a slight angle, because one ends up higher than the other for some reason. Alright, now you get your whole bottom and back assembly. Alright, it just says extra parts, which is nice. They actually give you some extra bolts in case you drop one somewhere or one breaks or strips out. So looks like it gave you one of each in a washer. So that's a nice thing. That's my bad. There is no thread. It's smooth. It pops down on there and the other end pops down on there. It depends how you want to do it. If you want this end down there and then put this in. I looked at the deconstructions and it shows this end in there first, then setting this over it. But to me, I feel like it'd be easier just to do it all, get it all preset, and then just stand it up. If you need help or anything, you can get someone to help you. You should bow this rotator down. Buttons, you can raise or lower. You got your lever to, I don't know how to use these things. Okay, there you go. So, I don't know how it goes up and down, but you know, you got your back and forth, which is nice. And you lock it out. Got your arms, goes up and down. Little buttons. And yeah, the instruction booklet, I mean, if you can set the whole chair down on top of that little hole, I find it kind of dumb. It's like I showed you on the box. Just put the whole thing together, you can set it down, and then turn it up. And then there you go. So, if you like what you see, we'll always be putting something together, or building something, or fixing something. So like and subscribe, and let me know if you have one of these chairs, and was it easy to put together, and I'll see you guys later. Correction, it does go up and down. Sorry, I don't use office chairs, but you know, you just pull up on the handle and sit up a little bit, and she goes up, she goes down. Sorry about that. I figured I'd correct that information real quick while I edit this video.